right. Hi, guys, or to whoever is watching. I'm Mariah.
I'm Japera.
So basically tonight, we just, spur of the moment, decided let's flip on the camera and let's just share like some conversations that her and I usually just have like with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are two Christian women that are just growing in our faith day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like because of that, that's something that like we bond on. There's so many topics of discussion that we talk about.
Right.
And so we thought, why not just like share a conversation or two with you guys, and maybe you guys can relate to us in one way or another, or just kind of we could show you a different perspective of thinking. So yeah, that's basically it. We got she's got some pizza. I got my tea with me. We're just nice and cozy. It is, you know, winter season, so we're just gonna get cozy and just talk, just like, you know, just like friends. So
and just invite you into what we so honorably called Godly Hour, because we are talking about God. We are talking about in this season what it means for us to heal and find love, but also just, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean find love as in a significant other. This is the topic of the conversation today.
Yeah.
However, but it also means just find love in general, because we come from broken paths all over.
Right.
When it comes to father-daughter relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to just everything and anything in general, love in all areas.
Even like growing to love ourselves, you know, after being, you know, her and, you know, all of these things that have been happening, it's hard to like look at yourself and fully love yourself. So it's love all the way around, healing all the way around. So grab your snacks, grab your drink, and let's talk. Okay, so we're gonna share with you guys how we met really quick. So just first and foremost, I just feel like if you are like new into your faith and your walk with God, like everything is just really new, I truly believe that God will send people your way to help guide you, or just like to help be there with you and support you on your journey.
Right.
And so one day I was literally walking Dallas outside, and I was just minding my own business. Japera was outside, and she just happened to stop me and compliment me on my leggings. And ever since then, we just like clicked. We became such great friends. It turns out that she happened to live right next door to me in the next like apartment complex. And we just ended up being great friends from there. Like, she was my first like believer friend. Like, she was the first woman of God that I became really close with. And so like our bond is just like really special. Like, I just feel like so quickly. I mean, we met in June, or what did you say, June or July?
June.
We met in June. We're now in December. And now she's like staying with me. So like I just feel like we grew so close so quickly. And like we just bond over God. And I just feel like that's like the best relationships ever. So
period.
That's how we met.
That's how we met.
But back to your background story.
Yeah, so that's really about it. I'm in fitness. I'm into fitness. I like fitness. But right now I'm in baking. That's really about it. There's really not much to it. I would say like she said, I feel like we compliment each other a lot. We just have the best conversations.
Yeah.
And we just thought this would be amazing, because like literally every night since I've been staying with her, even like before that, I came to your house. I came to your house for something. And I was literally supposed to be like, whenever I was a coach, I would have to get up at 3:00 in the morning to open a gym at like 5.
Yeah.
So at one point, I think she went to this event, and I was coming to grab something from her, and it was late. I had just came back from a meeting for my business, and we do something called Night Out. So it was very, very late. Obviously, it's at night. It was like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning. And I came to her house, and we literally sat up talking for like 2 hours. And I literally had to be up at like 3 or 4, and I had like an hour of sleep. But I didn't care, because it was one of the best conversations.
Yeah.
So like,
that's what happens with us too. Like when we get in a conversation,
we'll talk.
We're just talking, because they're deep. Like our conversations are never like, they're never about nothing. Like our conversations like hold so much substance all the time that it's like, how can you not like stay for a couple hours and talk?
But you know what? That is a nugget. I'm sorry, I'm talking to you at the same time. You got a pet peeve? Whatever. But for real, one thing. Okay, let me really chew down.
Wait, I don't know what you're trying to say either. I can't help you.
Chill out, please.
please.
Okay. That's a nugget. If you have somebody in your life and y'all are having long, deep conversations about nothing, or you don't walk away from that conversation gaining value, why is that person in your life? Did I step on toes? Because I meant to.
Yeah.
Seriously though, we have these people that we call friends, but think about it. Why are they your friend?
Yep.
Even if you don't believe in God, which you're wrong because you should. That's why you came here. If you don't believe in God, still, what is the value of your friendship? Are y'all pushing each other to get to new heights? Is it a healthy competitive friendship? Right. What is going on here? Are we just going to the club and just getting toe up every single night? I mean, if that's your preference, wake up in the morning and get money together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I really do believe, like, we need to also, as people in this day and age, reassess.
Yeah.
Why are your friends your friends?
I had to do that, definitely. Just reevaluating your entire life. My entire life has just changed so drastically within the past few months, so it's been crazy. But both of us being really super young, you know, we're both 23. We're both 23. We've both been through some stuff, relationship wise, family wise, just broken relationships, just a lot. I don't know how like deep do you want to touch into that so it makes it more like,
I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like this is a podcast, so we can kind of talk deep.
Okay.
Obviously, exclude names and have, like, you know, kind of code words there. Because we know about a lot of the brokenness in each other's past. So I'm sure we'll know what each other are talking about.
Right.
But just kind of make it make sense.
Yeah.
And why
yeah.
it's healing.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. All right. So we're going in tonight then. We're going in.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Any questions that you want to bring out to kind of get the topic rolling?
Yeah, I just want to know, okay, so since we're on the topic of healing and love, what do you need to heal from? What is it? Because for me personally, the year of 2021 has been the year of healing for me personally. Healing from things, like since I am new on this journey with God, like He is delivering me from things all the time. And so I just feel like from things that I didn't even know that I need deliverance from. I didn't even know I needed to be healed from certain things, or I thought I was already healed from something. Turns out I really wasn't. So I feel like this year has just been a year of healing for me in general. So let's just talk about what we were healed from. Like what was it for us this year? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Well, do you want to talk about what healing looks like for you first?
Okay.
And then dive into why you're healing from that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay, so I'll give you an idea of in the beginning of this year. I got saved August 24th. Okay, so before August, I was healing from a breakup. I had been cheated on from my past relationship and left kind of alone here all by myself in Dallas, Texas, where all my friends and family are from California. So when I was healing, my idea of healing back then, I would pray to God. I've always had God in my life, always prayed. But my idea of healing back then, I would do things like journaling, or I would listen to certain music, or I would go and just go on walks and reflect. It was a lot of reflection, which I'm not saying is bad or the wrong way whatsoever. But now where everything that I do is centered around my faith, healing looks a lot different for me. Dallas. So now that I've been just like, you know, so focused in my faith, I think God has been revealing to me things that I need to be healed from. And I think a lot of healing that I had to do now and what it looked like for me now was forgiveness. I'm so huge on forgiveness, and I've always been a person to be like, forgive for you, don't forgive them for them. But I didn't even fully forgive when I thought I was fully forgiving. And I feel like when you forgive somebody, you genuinely want to pray for them, and you want nothing but the best for them. It wasn't just, I forgive them, so I'm going to say I forgive them. Like, when you truly forgive someone, like, you truly, like, want the best for them. Like, you want them to be saved. You want them to find God. And so I feel like this time that I'm healing, God has revealed to me how to do that, and in what ways, and in different ways. And it has a lot of crying. I've cried so many times. You do get emotional. It's an emotional thing to heal from many, many things. But I think allowing things to come back up that you suppressed for so long, I think allowing those things to come up and pray on it and ask God to heal you because I think what my healing has been looking like now is a change of heart. I think God has truly changed my heart in so many ways. Like from a guarded heart, from a shielded heart to like a softened heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's how I have been healing. I feel like back then or before, I would just be like, well, I forgive my ex, and I just had this huge wall.
Yeah.
And I feel like as I've been asking for forgiveness or healing, I feel like God has just been softening my heart for that person, and more of like, I want to pray for the best for him. I hope he finds success. I hope he finds love. I hope he does this. So I just feel like my change of heart has been what has been transforming through my healing process. So that's what I've kind of been
Oh my
doing.
gosh, that was so good.
Really?
Yes. Like I'm over here
You're
like
so funny.
wow, no, seriously, because like I mean, I don't know, I didn't expect that, and then the biggest thing that I got from what you said is the fact that like you allow those things to come back up, to ask God, how should I heal from these things? How can you help me heal?
Yeah.
Get healed. I have never even thought about that. That is such a good thing, because like we're all different person without God. We were different. We were a different person. So even if you claim, oh yeah, like you said, oh yeah, I forgive him or whatever, but you definitely have that wall still up.
Yeah.
That's not forgiveness.
Right.
That's not heal. That's not real healing.
Right.
So I love that you said that. Like seriously, I got a lot out of that.
Oh, I love
like
that.
now I'm like, oh my gosh, who have I not really healed?
No, and that's the thing too. Like, I have thought I've forgiven so many things, but I remember just having conversations with God, and all of a sudden he'll reveal this memory in my head that I was holding on to and I didn't even realize. And I'm like, God is like, you thought you were healed, but girl, let me show you.
He's so good, girl.
Yes. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I know what I gotta pray on next. Like, you know, and yeah, it's amazing how God can change your heart and just soften your heart. Because I used to be I'm still working on my pride, but I used to be a very prideful person, a very guarded person, I could be very cold. And I feel like God has just softened up my heart. He's made me a very emotional person. But emotional is good, because it's just, all that it means is that you're in touch with your emotions. Like, you can feel, like, you know? And I feel like for somebody who couldn't feel, if you can't feel that you're sad, if you can't feel that you're angry, then you can't feel that you're happy or that you're in love. Like, you need to be in touch with your emotions.
Yep.
So I just feel like God is definitely just overall transforming my heart and just softening me up. So that's what 2021 has been looking like for me in general, and in a healing aspect. And wanting nothing but love for every single person that has ever did me wrong. Like, you just show love. And that's the biggest thing in the Bible that you see now too, is just love them, love. God is love. We are love.
That's who he
Look
is.
on my pillow.
Come on now.
I am love. Like, it's everything. Like, love is just everything. So I just feel like I'm learning to love those that
transpired.
That did me wrong at one point.
Yeah.
Dallas?
Well, yeah, now that I can, how am I supposed to come after that? Like, I don't even know.
Just what has healing been looking like for you in 2021?
So I would agree so much to what she just said. For me, it was like, I mean, when I tell you, sometimes me and her, I'd be like, girl, we too much alike. Because it was the same thing. Like, I will always, like, me, I'm the type of person, I don't dwell on it for too long. It is not going to affect me, like, probably, a couple of minutes from now. If you do something wrong to me, of course, we have emotions. I'm gonna feel some type of way, but not too long after that, I'm gonna get over it. Like, it doesn't shake my soul, you know. So I was not the person to like hold grudges, but I definitely was somebody to be like, okay, but that wall is up. You're not coming back in.
Right.
So I completely relate to that. And I will always just like, okay, yeah, I let go. I forgive you, but it wasn't really forgiveness.
Right.
So like right now, what I think God, what I believe healing is for me is, I just want to say it's just God in general, because me having conversations with him, it delivers me from so many things that I didn't know that happened. And like you mentioned, he's bringing those things up, but it wasn't like I didn't have a whole bunch of situations where I really had to heal from completely. I would say there is some things, yes, some deeper things, and it was like, I would say mine were deep, but it was only about two to four of them. You know, it wasn't like traumatic. Well, some of them probably, but it was a couple of things. So What I think it is I really think it's I think the biggest one is the people that he showed me. That's the number one thing he did for me in the healing aspect. He showed me that people cared about me. And one of my biggest insecurities growing up as a child is that no one cared about me. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like I mattered. So that's one thing. And then two, he like physically shows me that he cares about me. Everywhere I see things like Jesus loves you, God loves you. Like he literally in like billboard signs show me so many times a day that he loves me. Or like I told Mariah this, I kind of think God is, well, he is the wind. God is, one of his forms is the wind. So sometimes when it's really windy outside, it's kind of a way of him giving me hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
You know? So like, it's just those small things just showing me that I'm important. That's kind of like what healing looks like for me too. And I think the last one would be deliverance. And that's from any and every wrong thought I ever had in my head. So it'll go from like, I had a brother that passed away. I thought there was stages of grief whenever it came there. And just recently this year, he passed away 5 years ago, almost 6. So it's been a while. But up until this year, I never understood why. But God revealed that to me earlier this year. So I think he is like taking those wrong thoughts and literally like suctioning them up out of my head to the point where I'm just like, I bawl and I thank him so much for putting the right thought in my head. Because once he tells you the right thoughts, once he reveals to you the right way of thinking, you will never think wrong again. You will see that right way and you'll be like, that's it. That's it. I know that's from God. And like, I couldn't thank him enough from actually like showing me the reasoning to my brother's death and help me like really get that burden off my heart, because I don't want to sound cold, but I don't cry in pain over his death anymore. I cry with joy about the time that I had with him. Yes. So that's one thing. And then a lot of things whenever it comes to, as we're talking about love, past relationships and stuff like that. Lord.
Girl.
Jesus. I think for me, it's still a process in the works. I am not gonna lie to you, because just this year, the beginning of this year, I had one of those a moment that really kind of like knocked me off my feet, all on my own doing. It was nobody else's but mine. But I would say it's just really showing me that you can have spiritual brothers. I think that's mostly what it is. I think that's like the biggest healing that he showed me in the love area, because me and her were just talking about this. You know how you have that girl that she got her type, she ain't going nowhere. That's her type. She not finna venture off or anything like that. Now you got that girl.
She knows what she wants.
She knows what she wants. And then you have the other girl who's just like, all these flavors in the candy store. They all
this.
So
Ooh, and there's this. Ooh, and they have that kind of flavor?
Girl, they got Laffy Taffy. Not Laffy Taffy. Let me get that Laffy Taffy. That Laffy Taffy. Oh my gosh. But yes, like for real. That you got those girls. I'm the other girl.
Yeah.
I got a sample. I got to try. I'll be up in Central Market like, let me have this. Let me have this. Let me have it. Girl, I want it all.
She's not lying.
I'm not lying. So whenever it comes to my taste in men, they vary. They vary a lot. I mean, right now, there's no taste. I have no taste buds. They have been burnt.
She's also not lying.
No, seriously. I drink a lot of coffee.
That was too literal. Oh my god.
I really burnt my taste buds. Like I literally. But we ate pizza, and what I did before I even baked my pizza, I took Tapatio out and I slattered that bad boy all up on my pizza and baked it just like that.
The only way she can taste something if it has hot sauce.
It's crazy. Okay, but really, really, really though, that the way God has kind of redeemed that section of my life is because he showed me not everybody in this candy store is for you to try. Mm-hmm. And you know, one thing, I was sitting in a meeting, it's crazy. I don't think I told you about this. I was sitting in a meeting and remember about dang.
I'm like, are you trying to get me to read your eyes? The connection is almost there.
Girl, okay, so Robert, there's this, there's just I was in a situation. I was not like, you know, Robert popped in my head, but it wasn't like, trust me, me and Robert we never probably haven't even had a real conversation before. I just think the man is handsome. That's about it. And I see him everywhere. I'm like, why you see me? You see me? I see you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Me. But not in a lustful way.
Not in a lustful way. It's not lustful whatsoever, because I've noticed Robert whenever I am delivered from lust. Like I don't feel lustful about anybody, none of that. I'm done, you know? So, I just noticed Robert. That's literally about it. Because
that's a good topic to talk about. We'll have to touch on that.
We gotta touch on that. Yeah.
Next.
Like what it like
next?
Look at this
I can
man.
I can go deep into that. So
whose man is this? Whose man's are you? Why are you doing this? Wait. Okay. But yeah, so we definitely should talk about that too. But like I said, there's no lust there. There's barely even conversation there. He's just my spiritual type. That's another one. You gotta find out who your spiritual type is, because that way you'll know that it's not lust. It's just like, you know, oh, I find this person attractive because of their spirit. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's Robert had popped in my head while I was in the meeting, and I think it's only because like he was a couple of seats away from me, but that was really about it. Like I was paying attention, honed in to the meeting, but for some reason I got distracted, just like for a quick nanosecond. And in that quick nanosecond, I literally heard God say to me, "Not everything is for your pleasure," or something like that.
Really?
I wrote it down. I have to find my notebook, but not everything is for you. Not everything is for you, or not everything is for your pleasure or something. Yeah. I forgot why I was saying this.
What
was I talking about before? Why did I bring this up as an example?
Well, you were talking about like types of men.
Yeah. Oh. There you go. Because I was saying, I was kind of into the fact that like some people are your spiritual brothers. I think that's another way that God delivered that to me. Like and I always want to try everything in the candy store. Not all those candies in the candy store are for you.
And I was gonna say maybe you should, or we can give like just a quick definition of what deliverance is.
Okay.
Because when I was like very new, I kept hearing like as you start with your like, you know, your walk with God, you start noticing like believers have their like different lingo and there's certain language that they use. And deliverance for me was one of them. That I was like, what does that mean that you got delivered from something? What does that mean that you need deliverance from something? So from my idea of what it was and what I've learned and what I've looked up, basically to be delivered from something is to like be released from something, to heal from something, to overcome something. So when she says like God is showing her that she needs to be delivered from something, maybe it could literally be like you need to be delivered from anger, you know, you need to be delivered from this childhood trauma, you need to be delivered from certain things that you just need to release inside of you that you didn't necessarily know. So yeah
that's
exactly you were saying in like your case, like God was showing that you need to be delivered from and me as well. God was delivering me from trust, like my broken trust. So God introduced us both to our good friend Michael, and I feel like within the fact of him being a male, I think God was restoring my trust in males in general, since I've had such a bad you know, experience with trust in men. So as she was saying, like spiritual brothers, yes, we have brothers in Christ. We have friends that are males in our circle, in our fellowship, which to me holds like a lot of significance, because I think it does a lot of more things than just being friends. I think also you're seeing them grow, so you see what like a potential husband looks like. Not saying that those people are going to be your husband, but you now see like what a male in faith grows up to be and look like. Yeah,
and there's such a huge reflection, because like in let's say Joseph.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I got that one quick.
Okay. So there's this person named Joseph that's in my life. And nothing like that. But he once said to me, like, you know, I want to be the person who your husband could look to and see as a great example.
Really?
Yeah.
I
so
love
like
that.
right?
Wow.
So sweet.
Yeah.
But like he has his moments. But yeah, like I feel as though like you said, that's just, you see your spiritual brother, you see the man he is, you see how he's chasing after God, you see how he treats you, how he opens the door for you, how he's a gentleman, how every time we leave we pray.
Yeah.
You know, those things. That's somebody it's showing us. And ladies, I just pray that you get this type of person in your life. And I know that God will do this for you. But he's showing, God is literally saying, hey, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Even though we're still babe in Christ right now, this is what it looks like.
And also, like, this is like what you can have. I think before I was like over here thinking like I had all these preferences and like I want my husband to be this and that. But now my number one thing is you need to be a man of God, but not just any man of God.
Girl, come on, girl.
Ladies, when they just put it in their bio, like Jesus is king, or like whatever they want to put, no.
Jeremiah 29:11.
That is not it. Please do not fall for that. Like, you need to know what an actual example of like a God-fearing man, a God-fearing man.
God-fearing man.
Yeah.
A man fearing God, either way.
Yeah, what that looks like an actual true man, like a man that's their faith is so strong, like that is really what you want. That's what I really want. Like, you know, I don't want a guy to just say like, yeah, maybe I go to church sometimes, or yeah, I'm a believer, or yeah, I say my prayers before I eat, or like whatever. Like, you don't want no like artificial, like, you know, you don't want something that's just like
lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm. No, we do not do lukewarm. We are not lukewarm believers. I do not want a lukewarm man. Like, this man
I
needs
literally
to be
do my
all
business
in.
for God.
Yeah, like
I
he
want
needs
you
to be all in.
Eat, sleep, and breathe God.
Yes.
I want you to put God in between our relationship to the point where if I say something that you know that isn't what God wants for us, you say, woman, stop right there. I am the head.
Yes.
I know when you're falling astray and this is not what God has for us. Oh, you say that to me. Girl, I'm gonna say, what? Excuse me.
She's gonna go to her room and start praying.
Lord Jesus, I know he's talking about you. I shouldn't be thinking lustful thoughts right now over my husband. For real.
Yeah, really, like now, and I think I was telling you guys this before, like, my husband, like, I'll know he's my husband, like, you know, obviously when we're dating, when we have an issue and he runs to God. He does not run to social media. He doesn't run to other women. He doesn't run to his parents. He doesn't run to go
or
like
his friends.
Yeah, to go rant about me. No, he runs to God, and that's the type of man that I want. So it's just crazy how, you know, what you start wanting, what your heart starts desiring is so different than what it was before. Like, you know, like, you know, before it used to be all looks, or like I need a man with, or I want a man with a lot of money. I want a man with this, I'm not to say that those things, you shouldn't want any of those things anymore. I just want you to know the importance of prioritizing what comes first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this down. But, so yeah, so I think our idea of love has definitely changed, and I think it's just been helpful. And also, like, we have spiritual fathers. We have a spiritual father, Pastor Paul, and we see him and Lady Tanya, and their relationship is just like, wow. Like, it's just, now we have an example of what true love looks like, and not of this world at all. It's not what you see. It's not what people fantasize about in this world nowadays. It's not like that at all. It's truly, it's God's love being reflected on one another, and it's just.
Is it Corinthians?
Dallas, you are being crazy right now.
He is.
You are not behaving.
He's like, okay. It's 1 Corinthians. Something is love is. Look up that scripture. It's 1 Corinthians. I forget like the actual like verse or like the number.
Love is patient, love is kind.
Yeah, love does not envy, love does not boast. We talked the other day, and she said something. Somebody said to her, it was so good. They
said that you will know it's your husband and not a decoy. I keep thinking that that's not the word.
It's close enough though.
Okay, because okay, whatever. So they were saying like you will know that this is your husband when you can replace that verse. I'll find the verse and I'll put it at the bottom. But you know, everyone knows it's a very popular verse saying like love is patient, love is kind, love is, you know, all this and that. Well, I was told like if you can replace love and put that person's name in it, so let's say his name's Matthew. Matthew is love, Matthew is kind, Matthew is patient, or whatever. If all of those things fit, like he's the one. He's a great.
Talk to God about it first.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah,
he is a good one.
Right, yeah. He
You
is,
know,
he is
yeah.
a potential one.
Yes.
You know?
And if he does not match with those things, like, no, go on to the next.
Keep moving.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think now I'm more excited about love than what I was. I was scared of love before because of what I have been through. I was scared that what I've been through was going to just repeat and happen again. Or I was just scared because my trust for men was completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
So now that God is restoring that for me, and now he's showing me, he's literally giving me an example of a man that is trustworthy, that is all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look, this is what I have for you, obviously with someone, like, you know, in someone else, but like, this is what a man of God looks like, and this is what you want, and this is what you can get, and this is a trustworthy man, this is a faithful man, this is all of those things that I really wanted and desired, but I was so scared that I couldn't get that. And I feel like that you won't get that if you're looking in the world. I don't feel like you'll find that in a worldly man, like, you know. And that's where I'm just like,
Actually, I know you won't.
yeah.
I mean, like, especially if you are already on your path. Now, if you're also in the world and he's in the world, then come to Christ together. Those are different things. Talk about that in a different conversation. That's a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
However, and we won't actually be able to even help you through that because we don't have that fruit on our tree.
Yeah.
So we're talking like as godly women, we're walking in our faith right now, day in, day out.
Yeah.
But like you being in our position and then you try to find that in a worldly man,
Yeah.
non-existent, baby.
I
That's
feel like
not
you wouldn't
happening.
even want a worldly man once you know.
You will literally have distaste in your
Yeah.
mouth. You will see a worldly man doing something, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Wait, that's another thing. That's like another word that I get off. You know, you're not supposed to be on there. In the world, what does that mean to you when something is worldly or of the world or in the world?
That is
What does that
another
mean?
term.
Yeah, because that was something that I was like, what do you mean in the world? We're all in the world.
Right.
No, it's okay. You can explain that.
It's
one.
not physically in the world. So worldly or in the world, literally means that. Okay, so it's Romans, I believe 12. God talks about the new covenant, and he's basically saying that I am showing you a new way to live, a new way to think. I'm washing out all of your old thoughts, all of your old habits, and I'm showing you a new way of life. And what that literally means.
I just read this. Yeah, I just read it.
Yeah.
And he literally says, like, do not fall in the patterns of this world. He said, but he's going to renew your mind, renew everything. He's renewing you to be of the spirit. Because
Exactly.
God is in the spirit. We are in a spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Mama Dukes.
Sorry, Mom.
Your face looks
Wait.
so good. Look at it. But
Oh my gosh. But yes, yeah, it is Romans. It's Romans 12, I want to say.
It is Romans 12.
Yeah, is it? Okay, yeah, I think it's Romans 12. And he says,
It's Romans 12,
you know, I'm going to
8
renew
or
your
6.
mind. Yeah, do not fall in the patterns of this world. So he's just saying, like, look at the things of our world. Look at what we envy. Look at what we uphold. Like,
What we worship.
hold on the, yes.
What we
Idolize.
what we see as the trend, or what we see as like the right way of thinking. Every single thought that you have thought before, it transforms, whether it's for the good or the bad.
Yeah.
I am not who I was a year ago. I get literally distaste off of some of the things that I was doing a year ago, whether it was a thought or action. I know for certain you're not going to want to be exactly who you were once you have that Romans 12 new covenant. And the reason why we say of the world, in the world, is because the world obviously has different thoughts than God has.
Those are worldly ways.
Drinking, partying. Drinking is not like a sin, but getting drunk is a sin. So getting drunk, doing all different types of drugs.
The music you listen to. The lustful aspect.
Yes.
This world is like taken over by lust. This
is.
world is taken over by lust.
It is. Come on,
so
girl.
if you're not in the worldly ways, if you're not falling for the worldly ways, if you don't want these worldly men, these worldly relationships, then you're of the spirit. You're not in the world anymore.
You
we're
literally
in
feel
the spirit.
discernment. You feel like wrong when you're doing something that you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Knowingly. When you knowingly do something you're not supposed to, your thoughts change. You're just like, no. I literally found myself getting annoyed at somebody today, and I was like, no, that's God's child. You know, so it's those small things then and there. Like that's what we mean, like not being of the world, because like she said, of the world is just totally different.
Yeah, it's completely different. I would say like a good example of like the worldly way versus like the spiritual way now is like, okay, the worldly way teaches you what's that saying that's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times.
You can't shame me again.
Right. But that's the worldly way of thinking. And the godly way of thinking, I don't know what the verse is when he was like, how many times did I forgive a person? And he's like 70 times 7.
Yeah.
Like it's like there is no shame on me once, twice, or 3 times. So I'm just saying there is such a huge difference of being in the world and being of the spirit, and like, you know, following God's ways and being like images of God who he created us to be, and versus like what this world has made us think is okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the only way that you're really going to see, because there's so many different examples, we could talk about this all day and night.
Yeah.
But the only way that you truly are going to know the difference between worldly ways and godly ways are literally what you do, Mariah? You read the Bible.
Yes.
You read the Bible. That's literally the only way you're
not lying.
ever going to know, because there's still questions that me and her have.
Yeah.
There's still things where I'm like, well, did I do that wrong? Like,
Yeah.
am I supposed to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.